What's going on? Welcome to the .Ugly Truth Podcast, where we speak with some amazing people who have done some amazing things. But as we know, in that bit of success, there's always an ugly truth. And so that's what we're here to find out. The .Ugly Truth Podcast is sponsored by none other than The Ugly brand. Go ahead and get your ugly gear at www.theuglybrand.com. Black Friday is coming up. I heard there's going to be some dope sales. I don't know. I happen to know the owner. I don't know. It's dope. Today, I've got my podcast engineer on, Big Moves. This guy, from the beginning of me wanting to start a podcast, this man jumped in. He was the first person to call me and say, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do this. And I since then, we have become not only just business partners, but become friends. And so why not talk to the guy who's really behind all this magic that's happening? I'm just on the mic. But when it comes to the editing and the thumbnails and all the other things that goes into a podcast, this man has done nothing but made the process super smooth, super easy for me. And so I think that you guys deserve to meet him. We've got something to tell you guys today. But we decided to go ahead and record it in a podcast versus keeping it all over our iPhone. So Big Moves, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
There it is, man. There it is. We're up on a Sunday. Can I tell you guys something? Can I tell y'all how ugly we doing this? Big Moves and I are both in relationships, and Sundays are family days. Okay. And Sundays are days that we're supposed to be with our family. Supposed to be no work because we are hard workers, and we're working on putting these work boundaries in, but it's kind of tough when you are a brand new entrepreneur, you know what I mean? And you hear all the time around you, it's, no sleep, or you gotta keep grinding. And when you love what you do, it's really not hard to not stop. Right.
Facts.
And so we had to get permission this morning to record. And so we only have like 30 minutes before what may be like a power shut off, or our partners, maybe playing in the fuse box.
Or off with somebody's head.
It's a strong possibility. So we're going to give you guys what we got, because we got some stuff to tell y'all. So, Big Moves. I recorded an episode in Atlanta with Jose. And normally when we record, we use one camera, right? Because that's what I have. I actually have two cameras now. I have to get another tripod so I can learn how to set this all up and everything like that. Set up the angles. And so, of course, when we go and record with Jose, the content creator of
Mr.
the
Signature
land,
Course.
Right. We've got three camera angles, and we've never done that before. And was that your first time having to edit something like that?
So, long story not long, no.
Okay.
But it was the first time I had to do it using that software, using Premiere Pro.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And so we get the file from Jose. I send it to you, and I'm thinking, man, this is sweet, and then the crazy thing is, we recorded on time. So this is one thing that I'm working on, is doing what my mentor Dave Shands taught me, which is to have some episodes in the bank. And I got caught slipping. I didn't have any episodes in the bank. And so I give you the files like we typically do. And I mean, we were a week in advance too. We were on time.
Yes. Yeah.
We were on time this time.
Yes. We were not in crunch time at all.
No. Normally I don't say normally, but we're getting out of that.
We've run closer to the deadline.
We've been in some crunch time situations.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this time I'm like, yo, we good. And then it's awesome because I'm like, it's with my guy. Like, this is the author of The Ugly brand. So this episode, and it's episode number 5. So it makes it special, right?
All signs point to this episode is dope.
Absolutely. And then we went for like an hour and a half, and we could have kept going. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to re-record. We're going to record anyway. He's going to be on episode 25. And so then what happens?
So what happens is something I've never experienced in editing before, honestly, in my life.
Right.
So I imported everything, right? I followed my production SOP and imported everything, got all the videos labeled, got everything synced up, watched the entire game tape, as we call it, from start to finish, did all of my cutting, which is when, for those who are not edit language savvy, is when you take one piece of footage and split it at one point and show another piece. So what the viewer sees is two people and then one person and then two people and then one, so on. So I did all that, added the titles and all that good stuff, everything that I do. And then it was time to export. Control M, which is the Windows shortcut for exporting in Premiere Pro, which is what I had done for all of the other 4 episodes of the Ugly Truth, along with all the other shows that I represent. And for whatever reason, this time it malfunctioned. I got a service error that I'd never seen. And anyone who works on computers, we see errors, it happens. So I did what anyone else would do. I hit save, I double checked my work, I looked at my settings, and I tried it again. And it didn't work again. And this, long story not long, this continued to happen every single day, every single attempt that I spent on this one episode. It got to a point, I verified that my workstation was working properly. I went to YouTube University and got some guidance. I have an editing mentor, I spoke to him, got some guidance. Went to a couple other digital universities besides YouTube and tried to gather as much information as I could and got some valuable insights. But for whatever reason, none of those insights precipitated an episode that we could publish.
Right.
Which then caused us to fall completely behind deadline, went from running close to running late to now here we are at the time of this recording, officially a whole week past release date, and still have not been able to export this file.
Yep. And so I wanted to speak with everybody about this because one major thing that we learn in entrepreneurship is consistency. We're with that word is hammered into us. And one thing when I went to the podcast challenge with Shan's, the stats were the majority of you will not get past 7 episodes. Because of consistency. Here we are, episode 5, and we take a L. And the first thing I think about was consistency. We failed to be consistent. Not because the technical error happened. We failed to be consistent because, and I'm going to take this, I did not record and have anything extra in the bank, which is what I was taught. And so I take the L on this because, had something been, in the reserve tank, then it's like, okay, you know what? Well, let's post this video and let's post this interview.
Swap one for another.
Swap one for another. Of course, I would have loved for, the episode still remain to be the 5th episode. However, that didn't happen. I would rather have put something out versus did nothing, which is what we did. And so the lesson learned here for me, one, I got to go and record some episodes and have some in the bank. And so this upcoming week on good old Black Friday week, I have challenged myself to record at least 2, maybe 3. If I can get 3 interviews, I know I have one tomorrow, in so that we don't hit this wall again.
Just as one of your accountability partners, the fact that you said 3 and this is going to be live, I'm going to go ahead and hold you to that 3.
I knew that was coming.
You know what I mean? Like if I got to help you figure out what it is, because I am a part of your production team to figure out what we need to do to get that 3rd one, so be it. But I'm going to go ahead and hold you to that 3.
I knew that was coming. And so 3 it is during Black Friday week.
Because you're not busy enough.
No, I'm not busy enough. No, I'm not busy enough. I don't have to go and speak with the printer and pick up the new order and make the mock-ups and make sure the website is good to go, which I believe it is because my sister takes care of that. Shout out to my sister. She likes to be called the whiz kid. She's IT savvy.
Let's go,
She's the one
sis
who's
whiz
running.
kid.
Yeah, sis whiz kid. I like that. Sis whiz kid. She's running the systems for the Ugly brand apparel.
Okay.
But you know what's so awesome is that her wife is getting ready to have a baby. She's actually currently in labor and has been for I think this is day
Yes. Come
3.
on, babies.
Yep, and he's they asked me to be his godmom, so I'm really
Oh, you
excited
just
about it.
racking them up. That's like Godchild, like number 27 for you, ain't
Man,
it?
yeah, bro, I'm on Godchild number uh 3, 3.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of people who are depending on you to not die.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who depended on me to do it ugly.
Facts.
There's a lot of people who depended on me to do it ugly. So yeah, he's got baby number, I think 3. Um, and then I've got some more. Actually, I'm sorry. We got child number 4. We
Booyah.
got child number 4, and the reason being is because I have a cousin. She's like one of my best friends, and her daughter's godmother passed away when her daughter was like 5 or something like that, and she's getting ready to turn 18. And they have asked me to, or I don't know if they asked me. I don't know. It's crazy. My other cousin, which is her sister, was
Hmm.
like, Kelli, I think you should be the one to step in. So I spoke with her mom about it. She was like, Kelli, if I were to have asked anybody, it would have been you. So she doesn't know yet, but on her 18th birthday, I'll be acquiring godchild number 4. So
Nice.
I got a lot of responsibility. I take that stuff seriously. I have, because they're still here, some of the most amazing godparents. My godmother signed for me to go to college when my own parents couldn't. So I
Nice.
take it
Hey,
super serious. So number 4 and 2 in a month. So I'll take it.
so you got a lot to live up to, but I mean, sounds like you're well equipped.
I'm well equipped. I'm not worried about
But
that. We're gonna
listen,
make this thing
so
do what it do.
before we move on to whatever else we're going to talk about, speaking of responsibility, I can't let you take the whole L, right?
Right.
Um, so my L in this, I was limited by my own intelligence,
Uh-huh.
my own level of
Mm,
understanding, knowledge, experience, and
mm.
capability to resolve the issue,
Right.
right? Like
Right.
one of the books we read in our mentorship group is Who Not How,
Yeah.
and knowing when to and how to and all that. And
Right.
I'm your who.
Yep.
I am someone you leaned into entirely for this piece of this
Yep.
process.
Yep.
And we ran into a snag that limited my ability to be the who, or my ability to resolve your issue, which is put the podcast out.
Uh-huh.
And so my takeaways are I got to strengthen my SOP. I gotta maybe reassess how I accept footage
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with other clients going forward. Like, hey, we need a minimum of this amount of lead time,
Right.
right? And I got to invest deeper into my education. Like, I'm always looking to learn more,
Mm-hmm.
but as soon as I run into a roadblock of I don't know, like that's my final answer is I actually don't know.
Right.
That means there's something else I need to know. There's something else I need to learn.
Right.
And I got to invest deeper into that. Like Jose's
Right.
deeper than the brand. I got to go deeper than the brain.
Yeah. Yeah. You said deeper than the brain.
Yeah.
I
I,
love that.
I got to get really
I
deep.
love that. Yeah. I think that and when we were talking about it, we were shoot the text. One thing I love about us, our working relationship, is there's a huge amount of respect for each other and a huge amount of respect for the roles that we play in each other's lives,
Yes.
um, and in our growth and in our business and everything like that. And so we talk business, but we talk business like homies.
Right.
And when
Right.
you're telling me, you're like, Kel, I cannot figure this thing out. There was not a level of, I wasn't mad, you know what I mean? Because I know
Mm-hmm.
stuff happens, but I also know that you did and have been doing everything possible so far as to go as, hey, Kelli, I took my machine to the Geek Squad.
I did.
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. And so then when I start talking about, okay, so what do we need? What do we need to do this better? Because when you were doing these things ugly, like I can't get upset that it didn't work. I just don't.
Right.
I just don't. Now it's just a matter of let's figure this out. Immediately, my first thought was, okay, Kelli, what's the lesson learned here? Okay, on your end of the board, Kels, you need to have something in the bank. You need to have, and it can't be one, it can't be two. There needs to be at least 3 or 4.
Yep.
Because even if this would have worked, right? I still would have been left to having to record this week. Okay. And here it is, Black Friday's coming up. I don't get to use that as an excuse not to record.
Right.
You know, to whereas if I would have already had some in the bank, I could have not recorded this week.
Right.
So
yes.
There's some things that I have to learn. And so when you're doing this entrepreneurial thing, and especially with what I got going on with, you got the brand, and then you still want to, you know, do the podcast and everything like that. I have to manage my time because I still have family. I still have family life. I still have personal life and all that.
Right.
And so, and then it's just myself. You know, I know that a lot of what we're here in this entrepreneurial space where it's like, you know, grind hard, grind it out, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, your body is your body. And last week, my body shut me down.
Yes, mine as well.
Last weekend, my body shut me down. And your body did the same thing to you this week while this crisis was happening.
Yes, I was so sick from this issue. I got sick.
Right.
I fully believe the stress I pulled onto myself made my body respond to the stress.
Right. And so the lesson learned, like I said, the greatest lesson learned for me was, you know, I have to be more prepared. And I have to start scheduling things out. And so for me, that's a little tough because I'm a low C, right? On the DISC assessment. I'm a high I and a high S. I just want to do, and I want to go, and I want to get going. And, you know, in this instance, you are my C, but I still have to have a level of organization to also not overwhelm you.
Right.
As a C. And so in this instance, and then your DISC, are you a low C too?
I am a very low C. I'm
very
a high
low C.
S, high D.
Right. So we got 2 low C's trying to figure this out. And the effort is there. And then and also the processes are there. I knew I should have had more recordings. I knew I should have did it. I just didn't do it. And so now here we are. And so the lesson has been learned. I will have 3 by the end of this week for sure. And we're going to rock like that. I know I have, like I said, I have one live tomorrow. It's going to be here.
Okay.
At the house. And I have the second camera, but I don't have another tripod. But with all of what's going on right now, we're going to work with the one camera and do a wide zoom so we can,
safer than sorry.
Yeah, safer than sorry. But we'll get better. We'll get better.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
So this has been an awesome experience, you know. 1 week out, we missed one for a week. And I had people calling me too. Did you drop an episode this week? Hey, and then it's the crazy part. We put the episode out there. I put it out there on
had
social
the thumbnails
media.
Done,
like, hey, it's up. Go check it out. Nothing. We've got nothing. We got nothing. And the episode with Jose is going to come out. We just have to figure out where our issue is. And the thing is this, right? I'm not upset about this issue because right now, you know, we're here in the podcast space. Eventually we're going to be here in the podcast space.
Yes.
And I would rather us encounter this issue here, right, than up here. And then 2, you're not only just my engineer, you're an engineer for multiple other podcasts. So not everybody may have had the same reaction and the same understanding that I had.
I would agree with that statement.
Yeah.
I said I would agree with that statement.
Yeah. And so I'm glad that it happened the way that it did because we both got to learn our lessons. And now we get to learn the technical part of it where it's like, okay, we can't use Dropbox. We got to use Google Drives or whatever the case may be. Which is normally the way that we exchange the videos and audio and all this other stuff. And this time that was different.
Yes.
So we're going to see if that was the issue. And if that was the issue, and we'll probably do a whole nother episode on, you know, why that was the issue. But that wouldn't be for me. It'd probably be an episode for you because I don't know anything technical. So. All
right. So look, if you're watching this, right, and you speak tech a little bit, I'm going to give you the 30-second explanation for why none of it makes sense. So I've used Premiere Pro. I record at I edit at 2997 FPS. That's frames per second. Never had any issues editing at that frame rate ever. Right. I've had to rescale sizes. I mean, if you've watched any of these episodes, none of those screens are the size that they were when I received it. So I've had to do resizing, reframing. I've had to add overlays, all that, and had no issues. I've had to render the entire file because of some of the things that I put into it. It was red, not yellow, not green, right? If you use Premiere Pro, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. The only thing that was different in my entire process from start to finish, the only difference is that I received the footage via Dropbox and not via Google Drive. And this is not an advertisement for Google because they're not paying us for this yet, but it is the facts and truth of what actually happened. The only single difference in the entire process is that it was recorded however it was recorded and sent via Dropbox, not Google Drive.
Yeah.
If you got some insights, please drop them in the comments.
Drop them in the comments. That would be great. That would be great. Like if we're missing something, help us out, man.
Right. Sidebar, changing from hardware only to software only. Again, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Don't tell us to switch to software only. I did that. It didn't fix the problem.
It didn't fix the problem.
It did not.
Meanwhile, I was just sitting here waiting and checking up and checking on what was happening. Because I don't know any of this stuff. And I don't bother
me the whole week. Because like you said, we talk, like we chat.
Every day.
It's like, hey, I got this idea, I got that idea.
Every day.
I call you when I get a sale, like, yo, I closed on this, I closed on that. It was none of that because I was embarrassed. I knew you weren't like angry.
And I was getting ready to ask you that.
I was fully like tail between my legs, sad face, like whatever emojis you can think of, name that. That was me this whole week. And if you know me, I'm very outspoken. I take up the room when I walk in. Like there's a reason why I accepted the moniker Big Moves, because I'm a big dude personality wise.
Right.
It was weird for me to not feel that broad shoulder confidence, like, because I didn't have it. And I had no explanation. It wasn't I'm sick. It wasn't my kids. It wasn't problems in my relationship. It wasn't my mama. None of that. There was no other stimulus to be like, well, ish happens and it was this. It was I did everything I was supposed to do and it just didn't work.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that makes no sense for someone in my position.
And we talked about that yesterday. I let you be great through the week because I pick up on those things. We talk every day, multiple times a day, whether it be about the podcast or whether it be business or you can talk about anything because we're developing that friendship, that bond, man. It's there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't mean to cut you off. I look at you as a mentor. Like I'm saying it right now for the record. Everybody know. Kelli Holmes is one of my mentors. You know what I mean? Be humble if you want to, but like facts. There's a reason why I talk to you about my business the way I do. Like I trust your opinion that way. You know what I mean?
Wow, I appreciate that, man. I didn't know that, but challenge accepted, man. Challenge accepted, man. And I noticed it. And then so yesterday when we were talking, and I said, I said, you were different this week. And I said, I noticed you didn't communicate as much. And when we did communicate, it was short. You know? And I'm like, we don't talk like that. We don't communicate like that. And you openly said, look, Kelli, man, I was embarrassed. Because if I'm sitting here telling you, this is what I do. And then the crazy part is from your perspective, you're like, I volunteered to do this for you. You didn't find me.
Yes.
I came to you. And now I'm not delivering.
Right.
And you felt some type of way. And
I did.
I understand it. And yesterday I just had to let you know, like, dog, sorry, dog. Like, it's good. We're good. But I saw it and I felt it. I'm like, okay, let me let him know we're good. It's good. We're going to figure it out. And that's when we decided, you know what? Let's just shoot for like 30 minutes on Sunday morning, get permission, because I had to get permission. And then my permission slip actually getting ready to run out. To just explain what's happening. And this is the ugly truth behind the ugly truth. Everything that I do is ugly. It's not just the apparel brand. It's not just the apparel line. You know what I mean? I'm working on something really big right now. And you know about that. And there's so much that's going into that. That's ugly too. But nothing for me is
at first I'm like, oh, she's working on something big. I do know.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
You know, nothing is exempt. Nothing is
Mhm.
exempt from being ugly. You know what I mean? And so that's why I feel comfortable, because I say, you know what, the.ugly truth. Well, here goes our ugly truth behind the.ugly truth. This is
Mhm.
what it is. And we'll
But I
figure it
mean,
out.
you know what it is? It speaks to something deeper. I'm gonna get deep for 2 seconds. For
Okay,
two
let's go.
seconds. Um, it speaks to how well you have a focus for vision and how
Hmm.
well you know how to stay on mission.
Hmm.
And that's like, I don't know if other people see that in you, but I know that that's one of the reasons why I got my eye on you the way I do. Like, as soon as I heard like, oh, she started a podcast. Oh, well, I know I could help. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be the guy, but I know I could be a guy. So I'm gonna put myself out there, because you have that ability. Like, you call it doing it ugly, but it's focus, it's understanding
Mm,
the long game. Like you said to me in the text earlier this week, this is the right time to have this happen. It's happening
right,
at 25 subscribers and not 25 million.
right,
And even at 25 million, the situation that happens there, it's like, well, thank God it's happening at 25 mil and not 25 bill.
right,
You know what I mean? Or you're
right,
negotiating a deal and it falls through. It's
right,
like, well, thank God it was a $10,000 deal and not a $12 million deal.
right,
Right. Like, that's what doing it ugly is failing forward. And
right,
I don't want anybody who thinks that do it ugly is cool to miss how important that really is. Like, it is deeper than don't wait till it's perfect. Yes,
right,
don't wait till it's perfect. Just start, but also stay focused on the mission, because you're gonna
right.
fail a lot. It's gonna
Yep,
happen.
yep,
Whether you look at them as small failures, big
yep.
failures, embarrassments, or just pebbles in the road, they're all gonna be like, you're gonna look back when they go, oh my God, I was on that. I drove on that road. You're
Right,
gonna look at your tires like, what?
right,
How? But it's because you understood the assignment, you focused on the mission, you focused on the vision, and you keep pushing it forward. And like, and that's for someone like myself, without turning this into another like 45-minute episode, it's difficult to do. It's not
uh-huh,
that I don't know how to focus, but like, I'm someone who is, it's real easy for me to look up, see one cloud and go, it's gonna rain today.
mm,
You know what I mean? Like, I
mm,
see one white cloud in the sky at that, and it's a nice spring day, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna rain today. It's gonna be terrible. I'm going back inside. So for me to feel comfortable getting around someone like yourself and recognize that, it's like,
mm,
it's more than helpful. Like how you
man,
said, like, to let me know, like, hey, bro, it's cool. Like, I knew it was cool. I knew it was cool from the way you were speaking to me. Like, even
right,
when you said, like, I'm tight right now, I could tell that that I'm tight. It wasn't I'm tight at you. It was I'm tight that this happened. You
right,
happen to be the person that's in this with me, so I'm talking to you.
right,
I feel some type of way. I don't feel some type of way about you. I feel
right,
some type of way that like, I understood that.
right.
But when we spoke yesterday and you said like, hey, bro, like, we're good. Like,
Hmm.
that was the period on it for me. Like, all right, cool. You
Yeah,
know, like, I don't have to not pretend to be humble, but be as humble as humanly possible. I was like, oh, all right. Like, it was stuff I wasn't posting because
uh-huh,
I not that I didn't want you to feel something, but I didn't want you to see that and then be like, hey, so does that mean you fixed this? And have
right,
to explain that they have nothing to do with each other. And
right,
I'm still giving your thing all the attention that it needs.
right,
Like, I neglected the whole rest of my business aside from putting out the other episodes that I had already edited.
right,
Cause it's like, I don't feel right. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
my stuff's not in order to do that. Like,
right.
I'm out of alignment right now, is how I
Hmm.
felt.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I knew better. It's like, I'm not out of alignment. I'm doing everything I can. I just
Right,
don't know what the issue is.
right.
But it didn't sit right with my spirit. So to be around someone like yourself to remind me like, hey, we like, it's this big. It sucks
Yeah,
because we only this
yeah,
big, so it hurt. But
yeah.
when we're this big, we're not even gonna remember what it felt like. We just gonna remember that it happened.
Yep, yep. I appreciate that, King. I figured that I felt that. I'm like, let me let him know,
Word.
because you were different. And I'm like, well, we're not about to do that. We're not about to do that. We're not about to, stay in this space. You know what I mean? We always have a decision. We always have a choice. Things in life are going to happen. You have a choice and a decision to either stay there or to move forward. We feel it. We feel it. And,
Yeah.
and I always encourage people, feel what you feel. You know what I'm saying? Feel it. Just don't stay there. Just
Yeah.
don't stay there. We're not going to vacate there. Okay? We here, we came, we saw. It's time for us to pack our bags and go. We're going to move forward. And we fail forward a lot. And everything that I do, when it may not go the way that I think that I had a plan for it to go, or the way that I thought it would go,
Mm-hmm.
it's a fail forward. And there's a difference between failing and failing forward.
Yes.
This entire brand is pushed on failing forward, everything, you know? And when you fail forward, the thing is you got to take the notes.
Yep.
And once you take the notes, that fail forward might not happen again. And the thing is, it might happen again, but then there's still going to be a slight difference somewhere. There's still a note you may have missed.
Right.
So
right.
We're just taking notes right now. Maybe that's what I need to call failure. Hey, nah, man, I'm just taking notes.
Yeah, we're reviewing the game tape. That's 100.
Duly noted.
Yep. You know, and that's like how we meet weekly to just review our status on the podcast.
Yep.
That's what that meeting is for. Is like, hey, here's where I see an opportunity for you. What opportunities do you see for me? Here's an opportunity I saw for myself. Do you agree? What is your feedback on that? Because like I look at like DG said, you know, you don't get a job for money, you get a job for information and processes. And one commonality I found throughout my retail career from 16 to now is there's a reason why they have those team meetings and those statuses and like management, upper management meets with middle management, meets with lower management, meets with the shift supervisor, meets with the team members. And the reason is so that they can review successes and failures to continue to improve. And just because, you know, some superstore or some department store, multi-million-dollar business is doing it, doesn't mean that at a small level of two people, it shouldn't be happening. Because like you said, taking those notes, it's failing forward and it's taking notes, but it becomes your standing operating procedure.
Yep.
And that's how like literally what I'm doing. Like I got a notebook, it's too far away for me to grab it, but it's this thick and it is scribble scrabble, but I know what I wrote in there.
Right.
And every day this week, part of why I wasn't texting you is because I was transcribing it so that I can see exactly what I did. And I'm not going to give it to an AI. I did it myself. So I know what I wrote. I know what's in there. And just going back through it, like, all right, what, you know, is there a difference between what I did and what I wrote?
Right.
Because what I wrote is what actually happened.
Right.
And now I can review it. So 6 months from now, when I got 2-3 interns or I take on a couple other engineers, I can hand them the book and say, this is how you edit a podcast at Big Move Studios.
Yep.
So when they fail, I can hold them accountable. And then it's not me failing forward. It's just me scaling my business.
Right. And that's what I was getting ready to say. I'm glad you mentioned that because I've also learned the importance of note-taking. I mean, I know the importance of note-taking because we're told that, we're taught that. But the importance of note-taking in your business, your steps, because it gives you an opportunity to go and check the tape, right?
Yep.
I used to play sports. I used to play football. And we used to have days where we watch the tape. You got to watch the film. Even when you win, you still have to watch the film because everything still wasn't done perfect. Yes, you got the W, but there was a couple of drop passes. There were a couple of muffed up plays, you know.
Right. We won by 6. We could have won by 12.
There it is, you know. And then so in learning and checking the tape, I've also been in a position where, you know, I got injured and now I got to teach someone or tell someone how to play my position.
Yes.
And that's how this is. It works the same way in business. At some point, the goal is for me not to have to be in the business. That is my goal. I don't want to be in the business. I'm working on developing it. I'm working on growing it. I'm working on establishing all that stuff. I'm doing the dirty work. At some point, I don't want to work in the business, but I have to be able to teach someone else. And the only way I'm going to be able to teach someone else is if I myself, check the tape and take my notes. And then you organize those, which I don't do those. I have someone who actually she's in the morning meetup, Ajale. That's what she
shout out Ajale.
That's right. Shout out to Ajale. That's what she does. She creates SOPs. Once again, I'm not a high C. It's not my thing. She's doing it for me. All I got to do is tell you this is what I'm doing. But even in going over, telling her what I do to order inventory and this, that, and the other, I had to tell her that verbatim. And I'm like, dang, Kelly, you really did not have any of this stuff written down, which limits me to being the only person who can do it. And that's not the goal here. So but being able to check the tape and study the notes and study where we could be better. Study, it's just like, Shane says, you have to see the numbers. We are visual beings. So
yes,
we have to start putting things in a place where we can see them.
mm-hmm.
And whatever that looks like, right? It depends on your learning style. For me, this is one reason why I typically don't listen to audiobooks. I listen to them if it's more convenient.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm like on a plane or something, because I'm afraid of planes. And so
Mm-hmm.
I always have to have something in my ears. And so if it's something like that, but I constantly always would rather just read the book because I'm a highlighter. I like to
Mm-hmm.
highlight and I like to make
Yes.
notes and stuff like that, because that's how I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And so whichever learning style for everyone is, whatever learning style is great. Some people can look at a video and remember it. That's their learning style.
Right.
And so I've learned a lot this week from our film session,
Our ongoing process
our ongoing
experience.
saga, our ongoing film session of the
Our
loss that we took
the
this
writing
week.
of our standard operating procedure.
Yep.
The rewriting of our standard operating
Yep.
procedure.
Yep, the rewrite and the level of just responsibility and accountability that we both held in this, and we did it with ease. There was no point of the fingers. There was okay. I never pointed the finger. I never was like, well, Matt, how come you don't have us together?
Right.
First thing I thought about was like, dang, Kelly, this is why you need extra episodes in the bank. That was the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I thought about, because I'm like, we could have maintained our consistency.
And you know what my
That
first
was the
thought
main goal
was?
for me.
Yeah, on Monday at so we drop at 10 a.m., right?
Right.
It was maybe I was walking my son to school, so 7:30 we'll say.
Right.
And the episode, I had it exported again, but I had known, like I had tried this a few times and it hadn't worked out yet.
Right.
And in my head, I said to myself, like when you sent it to me, it wasn't that I didn't have time to do it. It was fine as long as nothing went wrong. So I said to myself, I should have told her we got to push this back a week. Like I should have just said to you, like, hey, I need you to record something else. Or we need to put out a disclaimer. Hey, we're skipping this week, but make it intentional and discuss it instead of just missing it and not putting something out.
Yeah.
Like that was my first thought, was like, why didn't you just tell her no?
Right.
Because of my standard operating procedure and my timeline compared to how I like to operate, it was a rush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was a 2-day shipping versus standard, but it needed special handling. So it should have been standard.
Right.
And my desire to succeed and my assumption that anything that can go wrong won't,
right.
I ain't say nothing. It's like, damn it. Like,
yep.
Cause you could have recorded it on your iPhone and I could have edited it in InShot and we would have been okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would have been okay. We would have made it. We would have hit the deadline at least.
Right.
But everybody just betting on nothing can go wrong. Everything's just fine. Yep. Right. We didn't have any buffer on all fronts. We had no buffer.
Yep. So we learned our lessons and we're getting ready to put this out tomorrow.
Facts. If y'all are looking at this right now, if you did not see the logo anywhere or you didn't see like the titles, it's like when she said this is sponsored by, and it didn't go wah, do it ugly, wah, theuglybrand.com. That means I still haven't figured out the problem and it is now taken over my system. And if you know something more about Premiere Pro, please, I am Big Moves on Instagram. Hit me up immediately. You do not need to book an appointment. Please talk to me. Teach me something, because I'm trying to serve my people and my people are being underserved. The evidence is in not having the titles on this episode right now.
It's all good, man. We're going to figure it out. We're going to work it out.
I mean, it's going to be fine. Like I'm saying this as a disclaimer and people are going to be like, but I just saw the title go by right there.
Yeah.
Which means we're good to go.
We're going to work it out, man. So look, with that, I don't know if we're over 30 minutes. We can go on all day for real.
We are, yeah, but we both still in grace right now. We're going to stay
grace. We're in a grace period right now.
Yeah, my whole joint didn't work out. The whole family's up. Like the plan was to get this done while everybody was asleep.
Yo, and then we started that late, right? We were supposed to start at 7 o'clock this morning. We did not start until like 8:45.
Right. My wife came in at 7. She was like, aren't you supposed to be with Kelly right now? I was like, we moved it to 8 o'clock.
Come on, wifey. I appreciate you, wifey. I appreciate you. I got in trouble for coming to set up the studio without saying good morning first.
Oh. Yeah. But she was supposed to be asleep. That's why
That's what I'm saying. She was supposed to be asleep, and my reason would have simply been, I didn't want to wake you up. I want to wake you up.
Yep.
So
there will be many more Ugly Moves episodes to come, and we will probably be talking about our queens some more.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Whether they want us to or not. So like, if you're watching this and you don't like it, get over it, babe.
Yeah, I mean, but don't forget to like and subscribe though. Like, I know you're probably already subscribed, but just don't forget to like, share. You can share. Comment too. You can comment too.
And I'm asking for it live. I know I'm gonna get the yes, but I'm gonna ask because it's the right thing to do. The audio version of this episode will be made available on Big Moves with Big Moves on Spotify.
There you go. There it is. There it is. There it is. Well, I like what you said. Ugly Moves. We're gonna make this one an Ugly Moves.
Yeah.
Ugly Moves. We'll
cross branding. Yeah.
Put it on both of our. Put it on both of the YouTubes, man.
Well, I don't do YouTube yet.
This you don't do YouTube? Okay.
Oh my God, this is my first interview.
Oh snap! All right,
it's my first time on video for real, and
it won't be your last.
It's my first official. Nah, not at all.
It won't be
not at all. Not even close.
Yeah, we're gonna do this thing, man. Look, man, I appreciate you, King. We're gonna get up out of here. Sunday, it's football day for me. I love football. Shout out to Lady Elite. That is my
Philly Eagles.
Team. Eagles gang. Philly Eagles.
Yeah, I said it.
Today?
Huh? I don't even know. I'm not a real football fan.
Oh, he said go Philly Eagles, but I'm not a real football fan.
I am an Eagles fan, but like I don't keep up with the schedules because like I'm probably one of the last people who doesn't watch football properly because Cap still hasn't gotten a contract. I know he's not looking no more, like, but the principle was, guys, we're not watching. Because
I need to watch that Netflix too. I haven't watched it.
I have not
Netflix, but I think it's on Amazon Pro. Amazon Prime.
I'm not here for the dramatic presentation.
Got you. Understood. I heard it was good though. So I don't know. I might check it out. I might not. I like a lot of trash TV though. That's not trash TV. So,
you know what? All right. One more thing.
What?
You said you like trash TV.
I love trash TV. Yes.
What is your favorite trash TV show?
Right now, I'll probably say like 90 Day Fiance.
Nice.
90 Day Fiance.
Ours is Married at First Sight.
I love Married at First Sight. And
the new season's in New York.
Is it?
It is.
I haven't seen a new season.
It literally just started. I think episode 1 just launched this past week.
Oh, okay. So I'll still catching up from the reunion from Houston. So.
Yeah. Did you watch the Atlanta season?
Yeah.
That dude was trash.
That dude was bad.
You know exactly what dude I'm talking. We bad.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
How that guy, man.
I'm like, dude, what's wrong? You are a narcissist, man.
Yeah, that's
but yeah, I love trash TV. I know that you have some of those entrepreneurs. I don't even watch TV. I'm not that entrepreneur.
Nope.
Because 90% of my day requires me to be present and engaged at a high level. You know what I mean? That is my level of freedom when I watch trash TV and football. I'm a huge football fan. And so Sundays normally, like I said, it's a family day, but it's football day for me. Like I love football and I'm a Dallas fan. And yep, it's a real thing too. I've been one since I was a child. It's no fluff. I am a hardcore Dallas fan.
Boo.
I mean that.
I booed you on your own show. Boo.
Whoa, the disrespect. Security. Security. Where's my security? Blue, come get him. I need security.
Man, your security shoots on your floor.
Oh. I'm about to grab my security. You about to make me grab my security guard. Blue, get him, buddy. Get him. Go get him, Blue. It's my security guard, guys.
I mean, at least security's cute.
Don't let him disrespect you like that.
Right,
listen, guys, this has been amazing. Ugly Moves. Welcome. I don't know. That's like a dual podcast. I love it. We're getting ready to finish up. We're done. The.Ugly Truth podcast. We love you guys, man. Thank you guys for consistently supporting us. Share this out. If you are a podcaster and you need a podcast engineer, do not let this episode have you thinking that this man is not overly capable of doing what needs to be done. It's
I
just
appreciate that.
technology and it's life and it happens. Pay attention to the fact that this man said he got sick physically because he was mentally and emotionally sick about what happened. He loves his work. That's what that meant to me. He loves his work. And even probably at 2.5 million viewers, he will continue to be my podcast engineer. I stand by this dude.
Fire me. You're gonna have to fire me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fire you. Because I just like I work. You never know, but that's not the goal. And I don't see it happening because I feel like we're growing together, man. We locked in, bro. We locked in.
Like even as I scale, like your podcast is on the short list of ones that won't get handed off to somebody.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna hand off everything else.
So that everybody else might get that extra work. But so with that being said, guys, thank you guys for joining us. All right, we are going to figure out that other podcast. It's coming soon, and when it comes, I'll let you guys know.
Hey, maybe depending on when you watching this, it might be the next episode.
It might be the next episode. It might be the next episode. So see you guys later. Don't forget, this podcast is sponsored by The Ugly Brand. All right, go on ahead and get your gear at www.theuglybrand.com. Peace.
Deuce.